Yeah, so the Barmy Army over the 27 years has always raised money for charity, right from 1994 when we started. Something we're passionate about. We try and make a difference and have impact in the area that we're travelling to. On the previous New Zealand tour, we raised money for the Christchurch earthquakes, and we try and do something that really impacts Sri Lanka. We did a tsunami fundraiser and actually built a little village in Sri Lanka called the Barmy Army Village, which is quite a cute story. And the victim support partnership is through Deb Stokes, and we've been touring up for a long time, and we know Deb and James quite well. And we wanted to do something to support the Stokes family whilst out here, and we got in touch with Deb. She informed us of her role with victim support, and we were saying, okay, fantastic, we'll try and raise as much money as we can. We've got an event on the 23rd, which is in Wellington, where we're going to raise as much money via an auction as possible, and hopefully have a good night while we're doing it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just want to say a massive Barmy warm welcome to everyone for coming down tonight. All the events we're putting on all over the world keep getting bigger and better numbers. It's really big thank you to you guys for supporting that. It means the world to us guys that run this for a living. It's very much a passion job, but we really do love seeing you all coming to what we put on, so thank you for that.
I got a message from Chris Millard from the Barmy Army asking if I could recommend a charity for the Barmy Army to support on this tour, and I immediately said victim support, and so that's how it started.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we're just incredibly grateful for this support and for this event, and the reality is that every dollar donated this weekend helps us get in front of more people and support more people, so thank you.
Okay, all that's left for me to do now is, once again, welcome the victim support team who are just down here at the front, the charity that we're fundraising for tonight. I'd like to invite Deb Stokes, mother to Ben and James Stokes, who's here tonight. James, show a hand, mate. Ben's brother. Just to clarify for everyone in the room, he's 100% supporting England. So you all don't need to ask him that question. He's 100% behind England.
Yeah, so look, victim support's been around nearly 40 years now. It started really small up in Gisborne with a number of volunteers, and now we've got over 500 staff and volunteers all over the country, from the far north to Stewart Island, helping over 45,000 people a year through crime and trauma and walking with them in those darkest moments. We get a lot of government support, particularly through Ministry of Justice. The police are a big partner of ours as well, so we're based in about 65 police stations across the country, but we rely on so much fundraising and additional support as well. Of course, like every charity, there's only some things we're funded for, and events, of course, of the last couple of weeks have reminded us that there's some big things that can impact us just out of the blue as well.
So I started working for victim support in 2013. I was lucky enough to be accepted onto the team of the homicide service, and that's what I've been doing these last few years. It's absolutely such a rewarding job, and one which I have often said to management that I won't be leaving unless they put me in a wheelchair and actually take me out the door. I have met some amazing people over this time who have been through such grief and trauma, and to be able to walk by their side for that journey is a real privilege.
Yeah, like a lot of these amazing community organisations, it started by an individual seeing a need, and it was a police officer in Gisborne who realised that there was a lot of focus on offenders but not a lot of focus on victims, and so banded together a group of volunteers and started working alongside and walking alongside people, and it just grew from there. And I think the big change for us was about 20 years ago when we got more government funding, and we've just grown since then, and unfortunately we're in a growth business because every year we see more and more need for what we do.
The 2019 shooting incident in Christchurch is a real poignant reminder of how people's lives can be turned on a tuppence, and I was involved in the support process for that for quite some years, well, for quite some time, I should say.
Yeah, look, that was a really huge moment for us as an organisation and for us as a country as well. And like every community, we have teams on the ground there, so we were able to provide support that afternoon, and it just grew from there as well. I think what it did was reminded us that these things can happen anywhere and that we need to be prepared for it, but that the support isn't just in the weeks or months afterwards, it goes on for years, and we're still supporting many of those families now as well.
Well, when I started, there weren't many full-time homicide service support workers, but that's grown over the years, and we've now got another 7 actually over the last couple of years, and that's thanks to the Ministry of Justice, who are our primary funding team, and so, as I say, it's a very rewarding job, never 9 to 5, but every single one of us don't mind that.
When you say it's rewarding, what do you get out of it yourself?
Well, it's a good question actually. 1, I meet some amazing people. 2, I see them walking this really long path after they've lost a loved one to homicide, and seeing them come out at the other end is wonderful when that happens. And it doesn't happen quickly, it can happen on all different sorts of time frames, and we are always there for them. There comes a time, one of the best moments for me is when the people that I've been looking after actually say, "Hey Deb, it's okay, we're okay now."
Yeah, you know, the support for every victim differs because every case and every individual and every community is different, but it's very much about what does the victim need, so it's very victim-led. For some it's about reassurance and putting them in touch with other people who've suffered the same sort of incident and giving that reassurance. For others it's face-to-face. For some it's directing them to things on our website and different resources or a community group they can join. And the thing about us is we're free and it's for as long as you need us. For some people it's just a few days, some people we work with for years.
I'd just like to express how wonderful it is to see so many people here tonight, and we as an organisation really appreciate that.